The crib is the first bed for most newborn babies, but some never get a chance to snuggle in the warmth of these cribs. Most parents do not want their baby disposed of as medical waste, so they engage in a service to perform a dignified burial for their baby. The couple was expecting their second child, but the baby girl died of SIDS, a sudden infant death syndrome, just 1 month after birth. After the mother takes one last look at the baby, the funeral director will take the baby to the medical examiner's office. After examination has been done, the funeral director will transport the baby to the funeral home. As the embalmers prep, here we have the drain sink, the autoclave where the embalming instruments go to sterilize. Here are a few instruments listed here. Then we have the embalming chemicals that we will use, and we as well as have the centrifugal embalming machine. Bear with us as we begin to prepare without the proper PPEs.
Today we're going to be learning how to embalm an infant. This is my assistant, Marquita. I am Ryan Brown. I am teaching her how to embalm an infant.
All treatments should begin with a topical disinfection, following by a washing of the body with good soap and water, cleaning of the nasal, oral, and orbital areas, and gentle extension and manipulation of the head and the extremities to relieve any rigor mortis. Intravenous tubes or any other invasive connections to the arterial or venous system should be left in place and removed after arterial injection. And we will touch up on treatments after arterial injections a little bit throughout the video. Infants and children require the use of several definite techniques that vary from those used in an adult or very elderly person. Even in children, it is not always the rule that small quantities of a mild strength arterial fluid should be used. Note: everybody must be individually judged in making a pre-embalming analysis. After washing and drying of the infant, the body is placed on a towel. The towel will help to position the infant. The position of the arms and head can vary considerably. In some cases, the arms are arranged along the sides of the trunk, and forearms and hands are placed on the body, barely touching, so as to encircle or clamp a toy or stuffed animal. Next, we will start with eye closure. Eye caps may be cut down and inserted under the lids, or cotton pads can be placed under the lids to effect closure. Most embalmers close the eyes prior to arterial embalming, but it should be noted that closure can also be done after arterial preparation. And then we have mouth closure. In the infant, the needle ejector method of closure may not be possible. However, in older children, this method can easily be used. Depending on the family, some embalmers leave the mouth of the infant open. And when this is done, massage cream should be placed on the tongue and the walls of the mouth, and the corners of the mouth can be glued. And now we have our vessel selection. All arteries should, and I say should, be usable. The common carotid is the largest, and it is easily accessible and very shallow. Then the second largest non-aortic vessel that can be used is either the external iliac artery or the femoral artery. The external iliac artery is slightly larger than the femoral. And lastly, we have the ascending aorta and the abdominal aorta. The abdominal aorta is a large artery and is accompanied by the largest vein that could be used for drainage. Preparation of an infant using the abdominal aorta, the incision is made to the left of the midline to raise the abdominal aorta. The abdominal aorta is exposed. Note that the small intestine has been carefully pulled and set to the right. The viscera are treated after injection, and the ascending aorta is observed as it is raised from the left ventricle of the heart. It can be opened, or an opening can be made in the arch of the aorta and an arterial tube is inserted. The entire body can be embalmed from this one point, and plastic is then placed over the incision after preparation. Here we're going to touch up a little on chapter 15, the treatment after arterial injection. We have the infant trocar, which will be used for aspirating after embalming, and you can use hypodermic embalming, which will be used to treat the limbs that did not receive sufficient arterial fluids. And then you have your types of sutures or adhesives you can use after embalming to close any incisions.
Dressing and casketing of an infant. You usually request request a bigger size because due to the fact that it's hard to move her or him, the infant in general, after embalming. Put the clothes on her, the infant, make sure they're in a position that you want them to be in. Blanket when transferring to the casket. Now we're taking her to her casket.